Good evening and welcome to Davenport Lady Panther basketball. I'm Ken Clemens alongside head coach Robyn Scherr-Wells and senior team member Molly Babbs. We just had our selection show from the national office out in Kansas City, Missouri. We now know our first round opponent and our day and our time. So without being in a lot of suspense, Robyn, I'll let you give out the big word.
Oh, all right. Well, we are opening up the tournament. First game of the tournament, 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning against St. Francis of Indiana, a familiar opponent.
Same team we opened the season up. We won here 78-59. That was the score. We won by 19 anyway. So we're opening the tournament with the same team we opened the season. Before we start talking about the game and about the national tournament, I just want to very quickly reflect back on this year. I want to congratulate both you and Molly on the outstanding season we had. For you, Coach, it's 2 years, 4 nets. For Molly, it's 4 years, 8 nets. Tremendous accomplishment.
Thank you. It's been an awesome season, but man, we still got exciting games ahead of us, and I can't wait to get out to Sioux City and start watching some film over the next couple days.
Your thoughts, Molly, on your 4 years? I don't know. I'm sure you probably don't know this. Maybe you do. Your record, the teams that you were on in 4 years, is 124-12. That's 91%. Did you have an idea?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to go out, to go out to Sioux City here in the next week. We haven't, since DAB, we've never had a national title, and this is our last year in NAIA Division II. So really, for the last years to come in and really sweep that, grab a ring, would be great.
This is the third season of our season. First season, of course, is the 30-game regular season. We went 27-3. Our 2 losses were to the number 2 and number 3 seeded teams in the nation. Our other loss was in the last conference game on a 3-pointer with 5 seconds left. So we've had an outstanding year. Now we start the third season, the second season conference term, now the third season national tournament. What are our plans as far as traveling? Now that we know our opponent, we're playing the first day on Wednesday at 9:30 Michigan time. What's your travel plans?
Yeah, we're going to leave Sunday morning. We'll stop on the way down in Joliet and stop and practice at St. Francis of Illinois. They're nice enough to let us practice there again, which they did last year. Just great people over there, and so we're going to stop and practice there on Sunday, and then make our way over to Waterloo that night and stay overnight. And then Monday morning we'll at some point head to Sioux City. I don't know if we're going to practice in Waterloo or practice in Sioux City. We're still kind of working out those details, and head to Sioux City on Monday and hopefully have a nice dinner in Sioux City. And then Tuesday will be pretty jam-packed with the Special Olympics event, which we always love to volunteer at. It's a really awesome event that they hold at the Tyson Center, and then get a practice in that day, and then we've got our banquet that night. So that'll be a nice full day, and then boom, get ready to play Wednesday morning.
Besides the basketball, which of course is the main thing out there, Molly, you've gone 4 times. What are some of your favorite activities when you get out there as a player besides the basketball games?
My favorite activity is definitely meeting up with our sponsors, going out to their house. We go there a couple nights. They feed us. Todd and Ann are wonderful people. We always have such a great time there. We like such a family atmosphere. We play Dance Revolution, and we have some friendly competition with that. And yeah, it's just a really great night.
Coach, last year we went out there, your first year with the Davenport program. We had 4 kids that had played any meaningful minutes that went with you. This year we've got 7 kids that in the 2 games last year played at least 10 minutes. So that's a little different for us.
Yeah, I think it's always such an advantage when you've got players who have not only been to Sioux City, but have also gotten playing time on the floor and know what it feels like to play in a bigger arena under those lights with more pressure on you. So I definitely think that that's a positive for our team this year and the experience that we have going out there.
And Molly, for you, again, this is your 4th time. The first 2 years you got into games, but you were kind of a role player. Last year you were a starter. This year, of course, you're a starter again, but you're going to be near the top, if you're not on the top, of the scouting report for the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this is my 4th year playing in this gym, and I think every year that I play in this gym, it gets easier and easier to play, and you get more used to the lights and, the noises and the fans and the stress and everything that's going on. So I'm really honestly not worried going on play. I'm going to play my normal game as I was playing in the Student Center.
Real quick, I just want to interject this. Whether or not you are aware of this, you need 4 more rebounds, and you will set the season record for Davenport University for all the women that have played here. So let's do that in the first quarter and get it out of the way.
Yeah, I plan on doing that.
Okay. Our first.
4 more, that'll be easy for her.
She only needs 4 more, and she'll surpass Callie Beneke, who said it in 38 games. Our first round opponent, St. Francis of Indiana. We played them early in the season. Tell us a little bit about them and your thoughts.
That feels like a lifetime ago. I'm sure it does too, Molly. Just trying to think back on, I feel familiar with their team, but at the same time, that feels so long ago. I know they've improved a lot as the season's gone on, and they're on a nice little winning streak here, other than, losing to Marion in the championship, but they closed out their season really well. Young team that won't have a lot of experience having played out there. We have a good size advantage on this team. They were not deep in the post when we played them that first time around. And while we're certainly a little bit of a different team than we were in that first game, I feel like this will be a good matchup for us. And I think that we'll, again, continue to have nice advantages with our post players.
What about our bracket? What are your thoughts on the bracket? We're with Concordia, who's the #1 seed overall in the tournament. What are your thoughts with them?
Yeah, definitely. I think this bracket is fine. I don't think I'm looking at potential second round matchups with Jamestown being the 3rd seed. Not quite as familiar with Jamestown this year, other than they're just always there. And they always do well. I think that's a really solid team that's very well coached year in and year out. So, we'll have to watch some film and kind of see how that goes. I think anytime you're getting to that second game and you're the 2 seed, you're playing a 3 seed. So, there's not going to be a real big difference in talent level. It's just really going to be who comes out and has a good day and plays well that game. So we'll be in a hurry, looking at them as well, but don't want to look over our first round opponent. Of course, I have a lot of respect for the Crossroads League and for St. Francis of Indiana and the season they've had. So, we look at those 2 teams, and then, if I truly feel like if we go out and play well, we certainly can win 2 games and get to that 3rd game, and that could be Concordia, but they're going to have to face, a potential tough matchup with either IU Northwest or Cardinal Stritch up there. So I feel good about where we're at. I think the one thing about Concordia is that they play that 2-3 zone pretty much exclusively, it seems, and we just haven't faced a lot of zone this year. So that's just going to be something that we're going to have to look at as a coaching staff and see if we need to adjust kind of what we have done against the zone, especially because we've only played spot minutes against the zone this year.
Molly, what are your feelings in regards to having to play a 9:30 basketball game? It'll actually be 8:30 in Iowa, but it'll be tip-off time. It'll be 9:30 Michigan time, that opening game on Wednesday.
Of course, it's not something our bodies are used to, but, that's the straw that we were dealt, and we're going to have to go out there and, play our hardest, play our best game, not let it affect us. We also have to think, St. Francis is also doing the exact same thing as us, so they're in the same situation as us, so it's whoever comes out and is ready to play is going to take the win.
Great answer. Robyn, coaching in the Tyson. This will be your last time to do it because we're going NCAA next year. Talk about coaching at the Tyson.
It's going to be really bittersweet. I even felt that way last year, and we still had another year going back there where I just was already like a little emotional last year. But for sure this year, I know that there's going to be a lot of emotions for me personally, and I'm sure for our players as well, because it's a really, really special tournament. While we're certainly extremely excited to be, joining the GLIAC and going to NCAA Division II, our time in the NAIA has been wonderful. It's been filled with a lot of success and wonderful memories, and so really, really thrilled to go back out there, and I just want to stay there as long as possible, win as many games so we can soak it in and create a lot more, memories while we're out there. But, it will be a little bittersweet.
Our final thought, I just would like to mention last year, Marion of Indiana was the 7th seed going out there. They were 27-6 on the season. They were the 3rd seed in their bracket. They got hot. They won 5 straight games. Depth always means a lot, and that's one of our strengths. So let's go out there with that in mind, and let's come away with 5 straight wins in 7 days and win our first national title. We're going to wrap it up. Once again, Davenport will play on Wednesday, the very first game of the tournament. They'll tip it off at 9:30 Michigan time from the Tyson Event Center. Ed and I will be on the air with the Dan pregame show at 9 o'clock a.m. on Wednesday, March 8th. Thanks for joining us.